505 here, just doing a quick and dirty video for Case 1 landing on a carrier, specifically the Super Carrier module with the FA-18C Hornet within DCS. This is mainly meant for my guys in the squad, just to give them a quick and dirty rundown of the procedure, but if this is of interest to anyone else, you're more than welcome to take a look. I can tell you right now that everything will be pretty good up until the last 90 degrees. I still pretty much suck at carrier landings. So I can show you the procedure, but I can't tell you that it's going to be a perfect 3-wire catch or anything. But right now I'm currently holding on autopilot, an autopilot orbit at Angels 15, 400 knots. Let's get the aircraft ready to land first. So let's go ahead and save the aircraft master arm off. Turn the countermeasures off. Don't want the dispensing when you're on the deck. Put the radar down to standby. If you've got a TGP on board, right now I don't, would be turning that off as well along with the LTDR for the laser. Let's turn on the navigation and anti-collision lights. I've got keys set for those, but that's these two knobs up here. And then I'm turning on my exterior master light, which is located on the left of the throttle, so you have to keybind that to something. Alright, let's find out the information on the carrier. So it should be given to you, if you're in a mission, it should be given to you by the mission designer, either in a file ahead of time or in the briefing. So let's swing down, take a look. Okay, so we're going to the Roosevelt, so we need 128.5 AM. TACAN is 71 X-ray, ICLS is 18. So let's go ahead and get all that set up. So let's bling up the HSI on the left, set it down to 10 miles. Let's go ahead and turn our TACAN on, set it to 71. It's already set to X-ray, so that's good. Box it to turn it on. ILS, turn that on, set that to channel 18, enter, and we'll box that to turn that on. Data link, we're not using the automatic carrier landing, but we'll make sure the data link's on anyways. Moving map, I tend to want to turn the actual map itself off. That's personal preference. So hitting the middle button twice here will turn it off so you have a wireframe, so you can better see what's on that center DVI. Alright, so if you're in an air-to-ground or air-to-air mode, so air-to-air, air-to-ground, just make sure that both of those lights are off so that you're actually in nav mode. That way we can get our bank angle going here. And something else I like to do is on the HSI page, hit the time UFC, box it, and hit the ZTOD is already on by default. I actually turn that off because that's taking up all that space down at the bottom of the HUD. And let's go ahead and unbox that to clear out the UFC. And that tends to kind of cover up the bank angle, and sometimes it also covers up the meatball too on the carrier, so it kind of makes it difficult to see. So I just turn that off to get it the hell out of the way. Alright, so at this point we've got our TACAN set, ILS set, the aircraft is saved. So let's go ahead and check our gross weight. So on the right DDI, we'll go to our checklist, and I'm currently at 34,000 pounds, so I'm a little bit overweight, but from the looks of the HSI, it looks like I'm not a terribly far distance away from the carrier, so we might need to either bump in the afterburner to burn some fuel off, or we'll do a fuel dump, but chances are by the time we get there we'll probably be at our max weight or below, so don't probably need to worry about it. Okay, while we're at it, let's go ahead and set our altitude source to radar altimeter, and we'll set our warning bug to about 300 feet. That's about where we need to be calling the ball at. So when we hear that noise, we should be at 3/4 of a mile. And let's clear off the EW stuff off of our heads-up displays. So let's go to our TAC page, EW, turn off the HUD. That way we can clear out some of that mess. So let's put it back to HSI. Let's see what channel we're on for COM 1, and we need to set our frequency. So 128.500, enter, and let's contact the carrier. So COM 1 activate. You see COM 1 up at the top. If you see COM 2, you're using the wrong radio activation. So
Marshall 208, marking mops 114, 22, Angels 15, state 5.5.
208, Mother's Weather is visibility 10 bus miles. Clear. Altimeter is 29490. Case 1 recovery, expected BRC 268. Report see me at 10.
okay, so they say they've given us our barometer, so let's go ahead and set the pressure. So 2949. I mean, we're going to be using the radar altimeter anyways, but it's good to make sure that that's set right. And they also gave us our BRC, so let's push our CRS switch over until it says C-cell, and our BRC is 268. Enter. So now we've got our BRC line, and we've got to contact the carrier again once we're within 10 miles. So we'll turn off the radio menu for now, turn off autopilot, go to full mill, and let's start descending. So on our HSI, we've got the carrier out that direction, and it looks like it's almost due west of us, so we're almost heading straight on BRC to begin with, so we don't really have to do much in the way of a course correction. So we're down to 12,000. Let's go ahead and start descending and slowing down, because we're already down to 24 miles. So okay, so for entering the pattern in upwind, we're wanting 350 knots and 800 feet AGL, or MSL. We're going to be the same difference here.
Altitude. Altitude.
Just adjusting the intensity on the HUD and the helmet mount queuing system. So we'll level off at 2,000 feet for right now until we get a little closer. Alright, we're on altitude and about on speed, and we're almost to 10. Alright, let's call it in.
208, see you at 10.
There's the ships up ahead.
Update state, switch tower.
Start our descent.
208, state 5.0.
Okay, we're inside 10 and at speed. Let's drop our hook. Alright, 800 feet. And 350 knots.
Tower 208. Overhead Angels 1. State 4.9.
208. Tower, roger. BRC 268. St. Louis, Charlotte.
Okay, we're going to take the carrier down the left
208.
side just to verify clear deck. And people do the brake turn differently. The official process is you're supposed to do G equal to 10% of your speed. So if you're talking in 350 knots, then you want initially a 3.5 G turn and then slowly bleed that off as your speed decreases. I have found through trial and error that if you do a steady 2.2 to 2.3 G turn, it amounts to pretty much the same distance from the carrier. Okay, so we got green deck. And I'm taking this leisurely, so I'm gonna do a full 1.5 miles from the carrier, so distance right there. And then we'll do our brake, throttle idle, and brake, level turn, and we'll crank it up to about 2.2 to 2.3 Gs. At 250 knots, drop our gear, drop our flaps, rolling out on the reciprocal. We'll pull our speed brake out, start trimming for AOA, and we'll be dropping to 600 feet for the downwind. And I'm going to do a little bit, I'm going to extend out a little bit just to have a little bit more time on the base leg. We're at 1.1 from the carrier, that's a good distance. We're trimmed for AOA, 600 feet. Wait just a little bit longer. Base, put the velocity vector just below the horizon. Want to hit about 500 feet at the 90. So when this line here is pretty much horizontal, want about a 30-degree turn. So far we're good. Alright, so we're on final base now. Bit long, but again, we're just taking this easy. We're a little below the glide slope. Keep on the turn. We're a little overshooting. That's alright, not too bad. On about the right glide slope. Alright, where's my meatball? Just gonna go off the ILS. There we go. Now we can call the ball.
208. Hornet ball 4.5.
Little low. Not the best, but it was a nope, one wire. Came out a little in a little too steep there. All right, so hook up, flaps up, wing unlock, and fold them. Nose wheel on to high. Clear out the master caution, and clear the deck. So wasn't the greatest, wasn't my worst, definitely, but that gives you some idea. Hope this has been helpful, and all I can say is when you're doing this, you are going to screw this up a lot. You're going to need to practice and continue practicing and continue practicing. Just keep doing it. If you take a break from this for like a week, you're gonna forget about half of this. So you just need to keep at it. Anyways, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you.